Hello everyone, this is 05 and welcome to the Cobra Massage Toy Review. And today we'll be looking at the 2009 release by Hasbro of the Walmart Exclusive G.I. Joe the Raiso Cobra, the Mini Battle Station and Action Figures review. And today's Mini Battle Station and Action Figures review, we're looking at the number 3 for this wave of the Cobra Surveillance Pod and Tele Viper with the M.A.R.S. Trooper. Now, I got this straight from eBay, and this one cost me quite a bundle of cash there. This cost me a total of $60. $30 for the surveillance pod and $30 for the shipping. It's rather expensive, but worth the price because this is really hard to get. Extremely rare, actually. So, worth the price to get it. Because when this showed up in Walmart in 2009, it only showed up for a short period of time before they actually, well, took it off from the shelves. So yes, a lot of people are actually looking for the mini battle stations itself. Now let's take a look at the front part packaging itself. In this packaging, it comes with the Irish Kage tattoo and stickers. And inside of the packaging, you got a nice little window that showcases the Cobra surveillance pod with the M.A.R.S. Trooper on one side and the Tele Viper manning the machine gun on the top. Here we have a smaller sticker stated, "Only at Walmart, save money, live better." And here it's stated that the packaging inside can be expanded to become a diorama. And the top section here stated what G.I. Joe is really about. Now at the bottom, we have the two file cards. We'll look at the M.A.R.S. Industries Trooper. It's stated that M.A.R.S. Industries Troopers provide security for M.A.R.S. Industries, the corporation that develops advanced weapons and is owned by James McCullen. This quasi-military force is highly trained in combat tactics and equipped with advanced weapons and gear. Preferred weapon, M.A.R.S. Industries D57-A Extreme Environment Tactical Rifle. Very nice. Here we have the Tele Viper, and Tele Vipers are the communications guru of Cobra forces. Versed in all conveyance tech from SATCOM to VHF, this specialists relay information and conduct ultra-sensitive surveillance and espionage. At the bottom, same weapon as the M.A.R.S. Industries Trooper, stated M.A.R.S. Industries D57-A Extreme Environment Tactical Rifle. Here we have a smaller instruction on how to apply the tattoos, which is interesting. And at the bottom here, also a smaller instruction on how to assemble the diorama. And on the side here, I really like this artwork. You get to see the Cobra surveillance pod with two of the figures there, the Tele Viper and the M.A.R.S. Trooper in action, firing the machine guns that's attached to the Cobra surveillance pod. Very nice artwork, actually. And on the other side here, we have 4 of the mini battle stations for the wave itself. We have the Outpost Defender, which is extremely rare. In eBay, they're actually selling this for $60, not counting shipping. Rather expensive. We have the Cobra surveillance pod, the Hit-Seek missile system, and the laser artillery weapon. Very nice. At the back here, a smaller write-up on the top stated, the surveillance pod is the standard Cobra infiltration device. It's portable and inconspicuous. I cannot even imagine how this is going to be inconspicuous because there's a huge logo of Cobra there. Inconspicuous, my butt. Now, it's stated, perfect for monitoring G.I. Joe battle tactics from a safe distance, equipped with a high-tech sensors to reveal any and all target weaknesses. The surveillance pod finds the perfect soft spot for Cobra to sink in its fangs. Here you got a smaller image, and it's stated package expands into a battleground diorama with the Cobra surveillance pod there with 2 of the figures in there as well. Now here we have the images of the Cobra surveillance pod with its features, multi-directional radar dish and guns that rotate and pivot. On one side here we have the Tele Viper, and on the other side we have the M.A.R.S. Industries Trooper. Very nice. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the toys. Be right back. And we're back after doing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from the packaging. But first things first, we'll take a look at the rest of the stuff that's packaged inside the packaging itself. Now it comes with a pair of logo pictures. One is the G.I. Joe movie logo, as you can see. And the other side is blanks. And the other one is the Cobra logo, same thing. The other side is blank. Then we have the temporary tattoo, which is the Irish Kage clan logo. At the back here, there's a smaller instruction on how to apply the tattoo onto your skin. Then we have a smaller instruction manual on how to assemble a diorama. The back here is all blank. And speaking of the diorama, let's take a close look at the diorama artwork. Now the artwork is actually not bad. As you can see, there's a base there and it's under attack. There's a couple of explosions, as you can see, with a couple of smoke section there. Now it doesn't actually say which base is being under attack. It didn't state, well, whether it's G.I. Joe or Cobra base. So we assume that, seeing that the Cobra surveillance spot is, well, given to this diorama, we assume that this is a Cobra base being under attack. Maybe. There's a fence surrounding the area. There's a toll booth there as well. Very nicely done. In the background there, you get to see the desert background. There's a lot of grass going on, a lot of sand, rocks, more grass in this area. If you fold the entire thing large enough, you get to see the picture way more better. But according to the instruction manual, you have to, well, fold it in this fashion. You have to place this tab onto this hole here and plug it like so. And the bottom section here, you have to fold it underneath this section here, and there you have it. It's very simple to assemble the diorama. And the bottom section is like so, and this is the back portion. Very nice. Next, we'll take a look at the two figures that came along in this package. Be right back. And we're back, and this time we'll take a look at the Tele Viper and the M.A.R.S. Trooper. First things first, both figures come with the same base stand, which is the Cobra base stand. And the Cobra base stand is shaped like a dog tag, as you can see here. There's a small little hole here for the small little chain to go through, or a small little string, so you can actually wear it as a dog tag. Not too sure why anyone wants to do that. Now at the base itself, there's a lot of blocks, and there's two pegs for the figure to stand on. Now the two pegs is a bit too short for the figure to, well, place on top of it. And most of the time when you try to, well, depending on the figure, when you try to place the figure on top of the base stand, it doesn't sit very well, and sometimes it will fall by its own. Or even better, when you try to pull the figure off from your display cabinet along with the base stand will fall off as well. So I really don't like the Cobra base stands due to the small pegs there. Now at the nameplate, they're stated as Tele Viper. On the other one, stated as M.A.R.S. Trooper. Now at the back here, you got a nice little Cobra logo, and this section there stated as 2009 Hasbro, made in China. Now let's take a look at the M.A.R.S. Troopers first. M.A.R.S. Trooper come with the same accessories that came with the M.A.R.S. Trooper 3-pack. As you can see there, it comes with a silver pistol. Now the handle of the pistol itself is a bit too thick for the figure to hold on to, but it's still alright. The details of the pistol is actually not bad. On the bottom section of the pistol itself, there's a small little laser sighting there, very nice. There's a trigger guard as well. Very nice details. However, I really don't like this rifle. This rifle is overtly very thick, as you can see here. The size of it is very thick. So does the handle itself. So the figure tends to have a problem trying to wield the handle properly, and you tend to overstretch and stress out the plastic of the thumb itself for the figure. So overall, in the long term, you tend to damage that thumb. So it's not a really good design. I'm not too sure why they designed the handle so overtly huge. The entire thing is made of a black plastic material. A little bit of details there, not really that great looking. Looks very simplistic. And then we have his helmet, the M.A.R.S. Trooper's helmet, which made of a entirely black plastic material, as you can see here. The face mask is painted in red. There's a little bit of details on the side here, and also on the side here, there's two eye holes. Very nice. And when the figure wears the helmet, it looks actually not bad. We have the helmet, of course. The figure's face mask looks kind of weird. Now, it also comes with a vest, and there's two buttons at the bottom there to connect to this point here. Now, there's two grenades attached to the vest itself. You will notice that the entire vest itself looks kind of thin, and it's quite difficult to remove the vest from the figure because, as you can see from the front portion here, there's the strap just near to the neck joint itself, and the back portion here is just enough space just to place at the back portion of the neck. So when you try to remove the vest, it's quite difficult, up to the point that I accidentally tore off this section here, because the grenade here, the pair of grenades, is not part of the vest. It's a separate piece. They just plug it in. So you have to be extra careful with the vest here, because some portion of the vest itself is especially very thin and very fragile and easily tear apart. Now for the Tele Viper here, it comes only with one accessory, which is the laptop. Now the laptop is a very nice addition. The entire thing is made of a black plastic material. Top section here, you got a nice little Cobra logo. On the back portion, you get to see a little nice details there as well. Very nice. And yes, you can actually open and flip open the monitor. Very nice. Now, as I mentioned before, the entire laptop is actually made of a black plastic material. This screen here that shows the graph is actually a sticker application, which is not bad actually. There's the keyboards as well, and the bottom section is to control the mouse. Very nice. And yes, the Tele Viper can actually hold it quite well, even with the monitor flip out open. Very nice. And finally, the Tele Viper comes with the same vest as the M.A.R.S Trooper, minus the 2 pair of grenades, as you can see there. Now let's take a look at the figure's paint job. For the M.A.R.S Trooper, majority of the parts are not painted at all. It's just pure grey plastic material. Only the portions of the armor itself is actually painted, like the shoulder armor, the gauntlet. Now the lower section of the boots itself is actually painted, and also this section of the boots is painted in black. The face portion, the flesh tone skin, is actually painted, but the eyes and the eyebrow is a bit too thin, making it look like, well, kind of weird looking. Now for the mold of the figure itself, the entire body is actually the same as the M.A.R.S Trooper. There's no changes at all. What makes it more interesting, or well, boring, is that they reuse the body so many times, with minus the head, for the Neo Viper, or for the Tele Viper, and even, well, the Arrow Viper that came along with the Crimson Hydra in 2009. Yes, exactly the same mold. So there's nothing much to talk about with the mold itself, because the mold is rather, well, overused and quite boring actually. Now, as I mentioned before, the Tele Viper also used the same mold as well. Let's take a look at the paint job first. The entire body here, majority of body parts are not painted. It's just pure black plastic material, except for the red armor parts here, which is more of a lighter tone of a red. Now the head paint job is very nice, because the entire head is made of a black plastic material, as you can see at the bottom there. So the back portion and the forehead there is not painted, but the side of the communication device with the antenna is painted. There's a very nice little small Cobra logo on the forehead there. On top of the goggles itself is painted with a silver line. The goggles is painted in black. Flesh tone skin is painted as well, and the row of white teeth is painted. Very nicely done. I really like the paint job on the head there. Now for the body itself, as I mentioned before, it's the same as the M.A.R.S Trooper. There is no changes at all. So it's rather boring when you keep seeing the same body mold being reused over and over and over again for the Rise of Cobra line. Hence, I don't really like to collect the Rise of Cobra line itself. Now, what's more interesting is that thanks to the packaging, one side of the leg here is sort of bent inwards, as you can see. And what's worse is that, as you can see, the hip joint there is rather weak. You can hear the rattling sound. Now, let's take a look at the articulation. Both figures share the same molds, except for the Tele Viper uses the mold for the head mold from the 25th anniversary Tele Viper. But the body itself for the articulation is exactly the same, so I'm just going to show one time for the articulation. First things first, the head can actually pivot upwards, down a little bit hindered by the vest itself goes side to side and turn 360 degrees. Shoulder joints here can turn 360 degrees and lift the shoulders this high, and elbow joint here bend this far, back and turn 360 degrees. Now what I really don't like this mode is on the wrist joint itself. It followed a similar way as the Cobra Viper from the 25th anniversary line, the first single carded Cobra Viper, because you can actually pull off the joint of the wrist itself quite easily, as you can see there. And some of the figures tend to have a problem as the joint itself is not very well secured, or the joint itself is not tight enough, so you pull off quite easily. Torso here can turn 360 degrees, bend forward, back a little bit, and to the sides. Now hip joints here can move forward, back a little bit, and to the sides. And double jointed knee that bends this far, and ankle joint that pivots downwards, upwards, and turn 360 degrees. Now overall the figure for the M.A.R.S. Trooper is, well, it's actually not bad. I really wish they gave him more accessories, especially on the telecommunication part, because, well, he is a Tele Viper and he needs his telecommunication accessories. But he's actually not bad. I really like the combination of it, red and black, making him look like an elite Tele Viper there. For the M.A.R.S. Trooper, well, there's nothing new to talk about. With the face mask on the mask itself, the entire helmet, it looks actually not bad. But without the helmet, you can see for yourself that the face looks kind of weird looking, very dull looking Trooper. And furthermore, I really don't like them giving him with this accessories, the rifle and the pistol, because the handles themselves are extremely too thick for the hands to fit into. So the M.A.R.S. Trooper is nothing that really spectacular. It's just the same old figure that came along with the M.A.R.S. Trooper 3-pack. So if I'm going to give a rating of this, the M.A.R.S. Trooper, I will just give it a, well, 4 out of 10, because it is nothing that spectacular. It looks very dull, and the vest itself is nothing that great looking. But for the Tele Viper itself, I will give it a nice 6 out of 10, because first, at least this kind of paint job for the Tele Viper, at least the color choices for the Tele Viper looks rather eye-catching, red and black. Furthermore, we actually get another Tele Viper, this time for the Rise of Cobra, and he comes with a nice little accessory, which is a laptop. Problem with it is, for the Tele Viper itself, is that he's lacking so little amount of accessory. There's only one. So if I'm going to give a rating for this, I'll just give it a 5 out of 10. Next up, we'll take a look at the Cobra surveillance pod. Be right back. And we're back, and this time we'll take a look at the Cobra surveillance pod. Now inside the packaging comes with a small little instruction manual, and one side of the instruction manual states the details of the technobabble, listing all the details for the Cobra surveillance pod. On the other side here is an instruction on where to place the stickers. And speaking of the stickers, there's a total of 19 labels that you need to place on. Despite that the numbering there stated at 17, there's 2 more that they actually didn't place the numbers there. And to apply the stickers onto the Cobra surveillance pod is rather easy. But if you're still having a hard time trying to reach to the, well, certain areas of the Cobra surveillance pod, you can always dismantle the entire thing. Because originally it's meant to be dismantled and assembled in the first place. And speaking of the mold itself, this is based on the 1986 mold, as stated here. However, they actually did a little bit of retooling on the Cobra surveillance pod, because, well, they only retooled the 2 pegs. There are 2 pegs in one side here, and there's one here, just for the figure to stand on, because the original pegs for the Cobra surveillance pod in the 1986 mode is a bit too large. Now let's take a look at the overall detail of the Cobra surveillance pod. There's not a lot of features being applied onto the Cobra surveillance pod, because it's just a simple playset. Now what's interesting to note is that in the back portion of the packaging itself, it actually showed that the machine gun post here, the large machine gun post, is actually situated in this section, and the light small machine gun post is actually situated at this post, which actually makes no sense at all because there's a little bit of room for the the large machine gun to swivel around left and right. So it made more sense to switch them around, because in this section here the light machine gun has more room to turn around, just enough. And for the large machine gun on this section here, it has more room to turn around as well. The antenna is placed on the corner here, and you've got a radar dish that actually turns 360 degrees. Now the entire outpost here, the entire port here, is actually supported by 3 stabilizers, as you can see here. Very nice. It also has this piece here, so the entire thing is more sturdier. Furthermore, there's a bit of details for the port itself. You got a small little star here. In the inside, you get to see a lot of nice stickers being applied onto. A lot of nice details. Very simple, but very nice. I really like anything that's from the vintage line itself. This is a very nice playset. Then you got a lot of nice details on the front as well. Got rivets as well. Grates and shafts. Ventilation shafts as well. Very nice. Small little eye hole here for anyone to sit through and view through. You can actually place one figure here standing. There's no pegs inside. You can place one figure here onto the peg to arm the machine gun here, another peg here to arm this machine gun, and have another figure to stand here or sit inside. Well, not inside here, but at least put the legs in there and sit in this area here. It's actually quite nicely done. Let's place some figures inside the Cobra surveillance pod. Very nice. Overall, the entire thing is a very fun, I would say a very fun play set to play around with, because we don't actually have a lot of play sets for the G.I. Joe line. So this is a very nice play set here. And it's based on the 1986 mode, so I'm a big fan of the old vintage line. So if I'm going to give a rating out of this, there's no a lot of colors being applied onto the playset. I mean, for the paint job, there's no paint job involving for the playset. It's just pure plastic color. You got dark blue and gray, and that's about it. But with the sticker application, it's actually making it look a bit more nicer. So overall, if I'm going to give a rating for the Cobra surveillance pod, I would say I'll give it a very nice 8 out of 10. Yes, 8 out of 10 for the Cobra surveillance pod, because there's no other features except, well, it's just a simple playset. If there's other features involving for the Cobra surveillance pod, it will score even more higher. So 8 out of 10 for the Cobra surveillance pod, and I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05, and I'm signing off.